Hey everyone, Kevin here again, and this week I'm joined with Brian Jackson. Hey Brian,
Hey.
and it's good to have someone on the hangout. Last week I tried this when I was sitting here myself. Right, I was ready for this to fall down there. I've extended this arm too far. Right, we were going to talk about a few things in this episode. You mentioned something about Google doing an update recently. What was
Yeah,
it?
so I
You
mean,
called it the Phantom update.
it was a couple of weeks ago now, but some people are just now realizing that it actually hit. Usually with SEO, it's usually a couple weeks behind until people notice it, especially small business owners. They usually could go a couple months before they notice anything. But on
Yeah.
May
Is that,
3rd, I started.
what
Go
was that?
ahead.
Sorry.
Oh,
No, I
I
was going
started
to say
noticing things.
Has this got anything to do? Is it? I know there seems to be a delay just now when we're talking. Is this got anything to do with the mobile update?
No, this
Or is
is
that separate?
completely separate. Yeah, so the mobile app update was it the 14th or the 22nd of April? Somewhere in there in that week, and
Right.
this one's completely separate that no one, at least in my connections, no one knew about. So it's completely off the wall, and they're deeming it. I mean, the quality update or the phantom update is what Glenn Gabe has called it.
So what's
And
the update all about?
well, from what we can tell, people have been reaching out to Google to find out what it actually was because it's not an officially a Penguin or anything update. So Google is just calling it a quality update. And from what we can tell, it's just supposedly affecting the quality of on sites. So it's looking at the quality of your site, and it seems like people with higher quality are now seeing some increases. The funny thing is, one of these sites, let me see, it was Hub Pages. They saw like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
22% drop in traffic, which is huge, especially for them.
But I
That's
mean,
like a night.
Hub Pages is essentially a content farm, isn't it? Really, I mean, it's in that kind of that
It
kind of
is, yeah.
about.com type of it's they've got thousands of articles, and there's zero comments, and some of their articles are only like 400 words long, or
It's true,
it's
yeah.
they always pop up in search results. So
Yep. And I think because of that, people were thinking it was targeting just how-to sites. But I mean, even my blog is technically a how-to site. Every single blog I post is how-to. And I
yeah,
saw a 95% increase in traffic starting May 3rd, going through that week. I jumped.
I need
It
to check
was
the stats.
crazy.
That's fantastic. That's a fantastic rise.
Yeah. And some of my clients have seen they haven't seen as much increase, but one of them saw about a 30% increase and some are in the 10 to 15%. Almost every one of my clients is up the board, but they all have really good content because I'm in the process with the content managers on getting them the content on their site. So I always make sure it's top notch, but I think that's really important is the content with that update.
Yeah, I mean, I'm normally I'm quite boring with these SEO updates because like all these kind of big updates in the past, because I don't do a lot of black hat techniques. I know I kind of forget about SEO. Just do
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do as far as tags and things. Just write articles. So when everyone talks about like I drop 50% or increase 50%, I'm normally like everything's the same. So
Yeah.
it kind of becomes a little bit boring for me. But
No,
it's hard for me to gauge though, because I mean, I mentioned this before in the forums that I've not been posting a lot on my blog recently. I've only been like one or two blog posts every 2 weeks or so because I've been trying to learn about video and things like that. So I don't think I've not seen any drop in traffic. It seems to be about the same. But I've not seen any jump in traffic on my personal blog anyway. I need to check on my other sites. I'm sure I'll have one website that's just had traffic, just crash.
yeah, no, and
It's bound to
and
happen.
I know we had a discussion about that in the Rise forums too. I forget who posted it, but about the frequency of posting. And even on my blog, I've actually been busy with some other sites, and I haven't posted since the 8th of May, which I'm kind of sad about that, because I'm usually not that far behind. But I've seen increases in traffic still. So I mean, yeah, it's really, I don't think frequency really doesn't have that much to do with it.
But I mean, like, yeah, I talked about this a few months ago as well. I think it was about last July, I made the decision to start hiring writers, and I think I was posting like, say, 3 times a week, and I brought in all these additional writers, and I was trying to publish like 6 or 7 times a week, and I was spending, wasn't a huge amount of money, but say $400, $500 a month on writers, and I basically doubled. It was about 50% more or 100% more blog posts for a period of about 4 or 5 months, and my traffic never changed ever. And it still hasn't changed. Eventually, I had to just say to the writers, like, I don't think I'm getting any return on these articles. And then the thing that kind of puzzled me a little bit was that a lot of these articles were very good. You know, there was nothing wrong with the actual, you know, what they submitted was good. It's not like it was bad writing or anything. It just, for whatever reason, they weren't ranking, or maybe they were ranking, them older articles were dropping off the list, but I don't think so. I think most of my traffic is still from older articles. So I don't know why they weren't getting linked to or whatever, but for some reason, I doubled blog posts. I went from like, say, 20 blog posts a month to like 40 or 50. I can't remember what it was. I increased it by quite a lot over the period of like 5-6 months, and got, you know, my traffic went up by like 3%. It was ridiculous when you consider how many additional articles I had added to my blog. Like, if I had to look at my blog just now, I've probably got close to about 900 blog posts. Granted, lots of them are very short. I've got 885 published blog posts.
Wow, that is a lot.
Yeah, but I think a lot of them are from years ago. And I mean, some of them at the beginning, they were, you know, at the very beginning when I launched the blog, some of my blog posts were like literally like 3 lines long. I was like, check out this video, it was really cool, and then that was it. So you can't really consider them, you know, proper blog posts. But it's interesting that other people, you know, as far as the time thing is not as relevant, because I thought that would be a big factor. And these, you know, all the latest updates, Google's trying to be more relevant. I thought this would be a big factor, you know, in search engine results and traffic. But I guess my blog doesn't rely on, you know, new traffic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think as far as Google goes, they deem it more relevant based on how many people click it in Google, rather than how updated the post is. That's what I've been seeing. So I mean, if more people were clicking it.
How many clicks you mean in the search engine results?
Yeah, because one of their ranking factors, I mean, this is all hearsay, but is one of their ranking factors is click-through rate. So I mean, the higher click-through rate it has, the more relevant Google's going to think your article is, and it should rank it higher.
All right, okay.
But for that to work, obviously, you still have to rank first for that to even work, obviously. So.
But I mean, that's really. I mean, could that not technically be rewarding a lot of bad articles? You know, just because they've got an enticing title, you know, they've got an enticing headline.
It could be, and I think there's a lot of sites even right now. I mean, the term clickbaiting, I think, is really bad because.
Yeah, I mean, you get that like BuzzFeed, all that kind of, you know, you get it in Facebook and click here to find it, and you're like, go away. I know I'm going to be disappointed when I click on this article, you know.
Yeah. I try to write my titles for the user rather than just trying to get that click.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been quite boring. I've not really, I mean, they always talk about like you have to split test and things like that. And I know all the kind of top blogs do, but I always just used what makes sense for an article, you know. If I've done a review of something, I would just say, you know, I'll place something about the product in the title, but apart from that, you know, I'm simply mentioning the product name and, you know, emphasizing one of the best points of it. you know, like so and so, like host your website with so and so at affordable price. I don't know, you know, something like where you're not really thinking too long as far as I don't spend any time really about thinking about what the title will be. But one of the things I did see, I've not checked it recently, but about a year or so ago, was all these tech websites that I used to read, and it was so annoying from a reader's point of view, where you would click on an article expecting it. The date on, it's the top of the results in Google, and you think it's a new article because you know the date's like, you know, it would say like May 2015, and then when you click on it, you realize they've just changed a couple of lines and they've changed the date, and you can tell because all the comments are from like 2012, 2013, things like that.
Yeah.
But it's top of the. But all these tech companies were, I imagine, were doing it because it was successful, and they were advised to do it. But I'm not sure if Google has fixed that. I've not checked it recently, but I'm sure it's still the case.
Yeah, I still see, like you mentioned, I still see those once in a while. I'll click into an article and it'll be it's actually from years ago, and so usually when that happens, I click out of the article because I know it's probably not going to be relevant anymore.
Yeah, but it's quite interesting that Google hasn't corrected that yet, because I realise it's difficult to determine whether an article is new or not. But I think they're giving too much relevance to an article being updated, and then that means that it should go top of, you know, the search engine results, because especially from a reader's point of view, it's very frustrating. You know, if you click through expecting to get a new review on something, for example, like especially if there's technology items as well, that they get software updates, or you know, you're looking for a comparison to a product that wasn't even released originally, so you're looking for a new review, you know, so that can compare it to current products in the market. For example, if I've got an HTC One M8 here, and when that was out, the iPhone 6 wasn't out. So really a new article would compare it to that. But I mean, it's quite annoying when I just find it very frustrating as never mind SEO, just from a user's point of view, you can through it and then find out the article was actually 2 years old. You know, and all they've did is add 2 lines or 3 lines. But I'm not sure how I'm not sure how they can tackle it. But yeah, I think SEO. Sorry?
I'm probably a culprit of that a little bit myself, because on my blogs, I actually just updated my blog yesterday. I redesigned the whole thing, but
okay.
It's actually not
checked out yet.
I actually need to fix that because I haven't added that back in yet. But normally what I do is I do show the last updated instead of the date it was published.
Yeah, I remember you talking about displaying that.
I think it is good when people actually use it correctly. Like for me, like I'll spend hours going back and updating my posts with new screenshots. And like I did this review on Web CEO, which is an SEO tool I use. And I spent probably a good 2 hours this weekend taking screenshots, and I'm going to go update it now. And so I think that is helpful for the user, but I think there's a lot of people that abuse that too, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, and this is why it's probably difficult for search engines to determine when, at what point does an article stop being, you know, does it stop being an article from 2 years ago and start being an article from just now? Because this comes down to the whole. This is more kind of a blogging thing, isn't it? Because you know the whole chronological nature of blog posts being archived. Whereas if you just publish something as a page, no one would ever care. But
exactly.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm trying to find an example. This is live on air. I'm never going to find an example of this, but I'm trying to think of something that I've checked recently where I don't know.
Well, and sometimes, if I already rank first for the blog post that I've written, it doesn't make sense to really write another one. I should probably just spend all my time updating the one I already ranked first for. So I think in that sense it makes sense, but.
Would there be any SEO benefit then from, like, if you've got your post, if you've got your permalink, just as you know the standard, what would you call it? Post? Was it post? What's the WordPress permalink standard one? Post date.
Yeah, post name.
Post name. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just use post name on my blog. I think you do as well, which basically means that you can change a blog post to a page at any point, and the URL remains the same. But would there be any SEO benefit from doing that, apart from having a directory, you know, a directory structure where you link it in your navigation menu?
As far as SEO benefits, there wouldn't be anything. Google's going to see it the exact same way. But the only benefit there would be, and I did this with a client recently, is we have custom post types. We had to rewrite this whole backend and do custom post types. And so there is an advantage to having a post over a page if you get into a situation where you need to call things differently in WordPress based on a custom post type. Because with WordPress, how it works, I don't know if you know this, but I'll have to find the article and send it to you. But once you reach over 100 pages in WordPress, it starts slowing down the database. And it's because WordPress, when you're logged into the dashboard, it actually, when it queries WordPress, it has to query every single page versus the post. The query is completely different.
Is that why a lot of people say that you should include ID in the post name? Or does that nothing to do with that?
That'd be a separate situation. But
or was that
the one
just
reason
from an
to have
SEO point of view?
Yeah, that would be, they're more concerned about SEO on that one. But as far as having them post load way quicker in the backend for queries as opposed to pages. And I'm mainly talking about when you're in the dashboard. I'm not actually talking about the front end speed.
Oh, okay. So actually, just from an administration point of view, this affects it.
Yeah, I've seen one of our clients was almost dragging to a crawl. We were having trouble diagnosing what was causing it. And I was actually playing around with some of those plugins we mentioned in Rise for, database profilers, trying to determine what was causing the slowdown. And it was, finally we realized it was none of the plugins were causing it. And after doing some more research, we discovered it was how WordPress treats pages on the back end. And so we converted.
Aren't pages and posts all stored in the WP Post database? In that table?
They are, but the query is completely different when it queries them from the administrator point of view. I should write a blog post about this because a lot of people don't know this.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm just trying to think because say I've got 900 blog posts and I've got 150 pages. Surely if it's all going through the WP Post table, a post and a page, it's the same. Well, it should be in theory. That's what you would expect it to be, the same thing.
They're all in the same table technically, but they're the query is different of how it queries them. And so I'll have to find that article because I don't do PHP much, but I know how the basics work.
Because a few years ago I did a lot of articles about optimization and was actually thinking about writing a book about it. So I looked a lot into these kind of things, and that was something that never come up. I never noticed that, but it's something I do believe because WordPress has got a lot of little quirks like that. I mean, we've seen people on Rise forums as well talk about this, how they talk about having large e-commerce stores with WooCommerce or whatever. And then it gets to a point where, you need a special kit. You can't just optimize it by installing a cache plugin. You really have to really delve deep into the database and start tweaking things and deleting things that aren't necessary. You really have to figure out how WordPress works. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, I've seen a lot of people saying that when it gets to a certain size, WordPress isn't the most functional, it isn't the most efficient. But then other people will come along and say, well, this website has got 20,000 articles and it's fine. There's always something to disprove the rule. So it's difficult to know who to believe.
Yep. Well, and we were noticing one of our clients was almost dragging to a crawl when we'd log into the dashboard. And this client actually had about 1,500 pages. So it was a large, significant amount of pages. And there was a good reason for the pages. It's because they were static information. But we converted them to posts and made them a custom post type. And instantly the back end of WordPress was like lightning fast. And it's because and we were using all the right plugins. We were using WP Rocket, all the, we'd done everything we could to optimize, but it all came down to how WordPress queries pages in the back end. So
So is posts aren't affected, custom post types aren't affected, is only pages.
Yeah, so the advice, I guess, to make it simple is if you're choosing between making something posts or making something pages, don't try to go over 100 pages. If you need more than 100 pages to make whatever you're doing work, make them custom post types instead.
It's quite a big limitation of WordPress, though, isn't it? When you think about it, because I mean, the whole point that the amount of articles that I've written, I've said WordPress is so much more than a blog, and now I'm starting to listen. I'm hearing that it isn't. Basically, it's a very limited content. I mean, in that respect, I would say it's a very limited. I mean, it obviously isn't, but I mean, from a pages point of view, that was the first thing that really started expanding WordPress beyond a blog. It was the first thing that really took it beyond just just chronological post. Pages was what set it apart, really. I realized most blogging platforms at the time did have pages. I remember all the ones that I tested, but as far as the ability to have a tree structure and all these kind of things, it really kind of compared it to all these. Like I remember at the time as well, there was like, what do you call it, PHP Nuke and all these kind of CMS based PHP based content management systems, and then WordPress effectively became a great alternative to that. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but I'm just surprised by this. I'm really surprised that this is a thing.
Yeah, no, I think to be honest, I'm the web developer I work with is actually my brother, and we spent probably a couple days diving into this problem, and we were kind of flabbergasted by what we found. And it's online. Like if you search for it, other people on Stack Overflow and the hardcore developers, like you'll find it does exist. That there is a limitation definitely for pages. It's actually in the official WordPress documentation too.
Really? All right, that's something I'll need to find. I'm going to search for that just now. I'm curious.
And I think I might have saved it in one of my notes here. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Surely, if they know about this limitation, they would be trying to address this.
You would think so, and because I never knew. I always thought WordPress, could handle, 10,000 pages if I wanted to. Obviously, the database will slow down a little bit, but I didn't realize it handled them differently.
I mean, it's the information is stored in the exact same table as blog posts. So, I mean, I'm not a developer, but like my first thought would be, why not just change the query, make the query more efficient? Change it so that I'm not sure. I mean, I'm kind of simplifying the problem here a little bit, but.
No, and that's what I thought too, and I would have to I'd have to ask my brother again on that one. He knows the actual programming reason why they did it and why it should be changed, but
so there was like it isn't like a fault per se. This is something that they made a conscious effort to do so that pages load more efficiently or something, or
no, I think it's just something old in the code that has never really been fixed, and I just found it here. I have a draft on my blog says don't use over 100 pages, and I have just the link to the documentation.
In fact, I'm going to check how many pages I've got because let's see how many I've got on my blog. Oh God!
And I've got 160.
I've got 167 published, and I've got 24 in draft.
Really? So and again, this only affects the back end. So I mean, the front end people, it's right when you're logged in to the dashboard that you're going to notice some. I bet you would actually gain some speed if you got rid of some of those pages.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these ones as well. I don't believe they're actually live. I think I've tried to build a directory structure about. I was going to do a guide section, so I think I've maybe published all these, like planned out the structure of it, and then I worked on something else, then didn't finish it. So a lot of these pages I probably could delete.
And I posted it in there in chat. I'm not sure if that shows up for people. I'm guessing not. That's just the.
No, but there's a comment tracker thing. See down the side of Google Hangouts, there's a part that says comment tracker. Assume. I'm not sure if that's the comment area that adds to YouTube, etc.
Okay. Yeah, let me try throwing it in there then.
Yeah, try and post it there just in case. In fact, I'll see where the.
Reading the documentation, yeah, they actually mentioned the 100-page limit, and it's actually a memory issue. But it's how I know from chatting with my brother, it's actually the memory limit's because of how the query works. It has to cycle through in the back end. When it queries pages in the dashboard, it has to query all the pages at once, versus if you click into posts to go edit, say, a new post, it only queries the post on your screen at that time. Whereas pages, it has to cycle through every single page you've ever created.
But what, it's weird how they don't, that it's not developed in the same way as blog posts.
I totally agree. I don't know why.
I don't know. Did you add a comment to the comment tracker there?
Yeah, let me.
I'm trying to see if it adds to the YouTube page.
Okay, so
these are the kind of things I should probably try beforehand, but we'll do it live on it.
Maybe someone will learn how to do this as well.
Yeah.
So I've pasted the source in there. The
comment tracker. Yeah. Stream. I don't even know. No, I'm not seeing anything there.
If not, I'll add it to your live stream afterwards so other people could see it.
Yeah. I mean, I can copy and paste it from that into the video description.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, if you just do like a control find for pages and click a couple times down, you'll see it.
Yeah. I can see the note that you wrote there. If you're planning to have many entries, say over 100, you'll run into memory issue. With this parameter set to true, WordPress will fetch all entries of a particular post type. It says particular post type. Yeah. I still don't know. I'm still. I mean, I'll need to look at it more. It's just I'm still unsure as to why blog posts and custom post types aren't affected.
Yeah, I'll find out the I guess the programmer reason.
I definitely think this will be an interesting blog post for your blog.
Yeah,
I think that's something that other people don't know of. So to go back to the Google Phantom thing, like what's this main update about then?
I think I would say, just from what I've been seeing from my clients and my own site, I would say it's just trying to clean up the quality of the content. I mean, and that's what they even nicknamed it. They're nicknaming it quality update. So I really think it's just, if you have really good content, you should hopefully be seeing some increases.
So it's more about they've kind of just optimized their system of, if an article has more likes, it has more shares, has more links and that kind of thing, more comments, then it's a higher quality page, a higher quality article. Is it really just pushing what they've already did in the past? It's not like in the past, like with the Penguin and Panda and things like that, they've actually targeted like certain techniques, certain black hat techniques to get rid of these people from the, kind of discourage it.
Yeah, no, this one's definitely not a Penguin. So like this one, it's not penalizing them in the same way. It's just, so like hub pages, I think it's just deeming them as they're not as good a quality. Whereas, Penguin, you could actually get really penalized and drop, significantly. For this one, I think it's ranking higher quality, slightly higher than other people. So even on my blog, I monitor all my keywords. I'm kind of OCD about that. I already know I spend too much time doing that, but I definitely saw all my keywords go up. And I think all my extra traffic came from just gaining 1 or 2 positions for all my keywords. So there's definitely a correlation between those.
Yeah, I need to check all my websites and see if there's any. I really want to see one going like that.
Yeah, no,
I'll be the opposite. I'll be the opposite. I'll see the website traffic going down.
I mean, mine gained 95%. I mean, I was almost dancing. Like I've never had a site.
So that's has your website traffic been consistent since then?
Yeah, it's been consistent.
Your traffic essentially doubled overnight. I mean, so you think
it doubled overnight. Yep.
So I mean, have you seen an increase in like affiliate commissions and things like that as well?
I have, yeah. I've been seeing definitely a lot more clicks and a lot more affiliate stuff come in. Yeah, no, it's been really good actually for my blog. So, and even my clients been seeing, more conversions they're in the medical niche, but they're seeing a lot more traffic too.
Yeah, and that will, I mean, in that kind of niche as well, is I imagine it's even like a 10% rise could be hundreds or even thousands of dollars.
Oh
if
yeah,
if you're selling expensive products.
all my clients are in the pain management niche, so like back pain, neck pain, and an average customer value is $3,000 over their lifetime. So I mean,
Oof.
even if you're paying $200 to get a person in the door, I mean, you're getting $3,000 back. So an increase in traffic just by 2%, if you get 3 more conversions, I mean, you're talking another $9,000. So I mean,
I'm so lucky I don't live in America. No, I'm so glad we get free healthcare here. I couldn't afford that.
No,
because I've had a problem in my neck, and I went back to the physio last year after like 3-4 years, and it was all free. It's yeah, I mean, I suppose it's all swings and roundabouts. You guys get cheaper tax and products and that, so.
Yeah, well, and I mean, the U.S. is medical is more expensive. I know, Canada, it's all free for everyone. So, I mean, it's definitely different.
Yeah. I haven't seen any, no, I don't seem to have seen any increase in my traffic per se on my blog. I don't seem to have been affected.
Yeah, and some of my other sites actually weren't either. Some of my clients were, my main site was, and my other sites kind of just stayed the same. So
Yeah.
I don't know why they somehow thought my content was better, I guess, than who I'm competing with. And obviously everyone's competing with different people. So it could vary, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I hadn't even thought about. I mean, it could be nothing you did, but something that your competitors have did. Maybe they've been at it. They've been trying to cheat their way to the top using black hat techniques, and they've been punished for it now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't seen anything about that. I had read about the mobile update. Like, did you see anything changing with the websites with that? Many clients, the update with what did they call that one? I think they just called it the mobile update or something, didn't they?
The mobile update, or mobile get in is what people nicknamed it. I didn't see.
I think most people have got in our kind of with blogs anyway. I think most people have got responsive themes now anyway. So
yeah,
I wouldn't have imagined anyone. And it's only mobile traffic that's affected, isn't it? It's not.
It's only mobile
traffic.
And it's not tablets either. It's only mobile phones. That's where some people got confused.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
So it's even a smaller percentage than what people were thinking. Tablets aren't even affected, or any large. I forget what Google deems as a mobile phone based on resolution, but it's. I mean, imagine
7-inch screen is probably the.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Because there's loads of tablets at 7 inches, but I think most phones the most is like 6 inches.
Yeah, and so that's I didn't see much movement, and I think there were something on search engine land even today. Someone published something like they were saying it's the update that nobody ever saw anything happen, and I think that's generally what people are seeing. Like, they're not really seeing any decreases or increases. So I didn't see anything, and the only client I was hoping for increases was one that I happened to do a SSL migration at the same time. Bad timing, so I couldn't really figure out what was going on based on that.
Yeah. That's the problem. Too many things change at once. You don't know what's causing the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
The other thing that I was thinking about talking about with you is, I kind of briefly mentioned this before, is the cost of PPC ads, and specifically in social media websites. Like, I mean, I saw an advert today. I was on Twitter, and it would just say, like, you can promote your account. And I remember the last time I checked the prices out, and it was something like $3 per click, or it was $3. No, three. It might have been $3 per follower.
Yeah, I don't think it's $3 per click yet. That would be
I think it was three. It was a few dollars per follower, like someone who follows your account. But just the nature of Twitter that anyone can just unfollow you at any time. It just seems, it's so high. I mean, like I've been trying to work out how anyone could afford to spend that much on Twitter.
I would never do. I wouldn't even be able to sleep at night knowing I had turned that on at $3 a follower.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
But
you
look,
set your limit, but
it does seem very high, though. That's the thing. I mean, I assume that, I mean, there are people who are obviously advertising on Twitter, but I'm not sure who. I mean, even companies, though, even large companies, like, am I worth $3 to Coca-Cola? Like, just to follow them? It just seems, I don't know. I'm just curious to who's actually buying campaigns.
Yeah,
it's the sort of thing that if it got down to a level where I could go, right, there's $100 a month and I get like, I don't know, like 100, or not 100, but like 500 followers a month, I could probably go, you know what, that's probably worth it to me. Not just now, but maybe in 2 years' time, I'll have, X amount of followers and I'll get more traffic to my websites and that kind of thing. But unless I mean, if you spend that thousands of dollars on Twitter to get followers, you're going to just spam the crap out of them to try and get money back, and then which will make them unfollow you.
Exactly.
But,
yeah.
I mean, Facebook. Sorry.
Oh no. Yeah. I mean, for people trying to gain followers, I always just recommend using like a tool like Managed Flitter or something like that, and you can use the free version of Managed Flitter even, and just follow people in your niche. Those are the people that are going to tweet your stuff, or people that are similar, that have similar interests. And you can do it for free. And even if it takes, even if you do it every 10 minutes every night, which isn't much time, and you'll grow a ton. So, I mean, that's completely free. So.
Are you still using that?
And I still do that. Yeah. I don't do it every night just because I have a bunch of stuff going on, but whenever I have time, like even this weekend, I probably spent a good 40 minutes in there over this holiday weekend, going in there and just kind of cleaning up my Twitter. So I, unfollowed people that have never followed me back. And you can sort it by length. So I sorted it by the first people I followed chronologically that have never followed me back, and I just unfollowed them. I figure if they're not going to help me share my stuff, why should I be helping them?
But it kind of raises the question about how you use Twitter and what you use it for, because there's a lot of people I follow and I know they're never going to follow me back, and I don't mind, because I enjoy reading their tweets. And this is where it becomes the problem is if you follow that kind of strategy, there comes a point where it's just unusable to use. You couldn't use the home feed. Then you have to kind of create favorites and you have to create lists in order to follow the people you really want to follow.
No, true. I guess I guess with my Twitter, I've gone beyond the home feed being even usable at this point. That's the thing though. I kind of feel that if you can't beat them, join them though, because I suspect there's a lot of time I tweet. I've got like 2,000. I'll have to check. 2,351 followers. It says. But when I send a tweet, 9 times out of 10, no one replies. I realize I don't think most of them are legitimate people because I've interacted with a lot of them. But I do get the impression, I can tell with a lot of these people as well, if you've got someone following you and they do want to listen to what you say, but if they're following 50,000 people, then you're irrelevant, really. How are you ever going to... It's just a numbers game, really, at that point, isn't it? I think anyone who follows that amount of people, you just have to be lucky that when they check their home feed, that your link appears that second. Yeah, or when they're checking. Another little trick I found is, like you said, it's kind of a game of luck when they're checking their Twitter for updates, because people like that usually don't have that much time anyways to check it. And but a little trick I use too with Managed Flitter is some notable people that I've followed. I finally got like Neil Patel and Zach Johnson, all of those, kind of that realm of people to finally follow me on my Twitter. And the trick I did was, it took like 5 or 10 tries. So what I would do is I would unfollow them and then follow them back. And it's kind of a trick to see. They happened to probably check it at that time, and they probably maybe clicked into my profile to see who I was. And I think after a while, people will recognize, what you're publishing, and that, oh wow, this guy has, similar stuff in my niche.
See, like I kind of follow people in a different way. Like, I mean, I get notifications of people who have followed me, but I tend to not follow anyone back until they've interacted with me. So if I've, like, over the course of the month, I get 50 new people following me. If no one even retweets or replies or interacts with me, then I don't even bother looking at them, because it just seems pointless in a way.
Sure,
and if they're not interacting with me after following, then the chances are they're using something like Manage Flutter and they don't care about what I'm going to say.
Probably, and then you're into the never-ending game of unfollowing and following, and it never stops.
Yeah. I think I think there's a lot of people. I mean, I know a lot of people as well. Back when what was that called, Tweet Adder? You remember that?
Yeah, no, I actually used that for a while too myself.
Well, there's a lot of people who got on early before Twitter started placing limits. I think the limit was it 200 per day or 2,000? Or you reached 2,000 and then it was like 10%.
Yeah, and then you're stuck for a while.
And then you had to kind of be more active in it. But there was a lot of people before even that limit, and they got up to like 100,000 people. And then all they did is they just unfollowed everyone. And then it looked like they were some sort of social media guru. But all they had did was just switch on a script for a couple of months and then let it do its thing. And then they just unfollowed everyone. And I'm sure they've still got, 100,000 people. Probably a lot of them are bots, but it's kind of interesting that, I mean, how does Twitter deal with people who did that at the start? Because they were still finding their feet themselves with this kind of thing, as far as what's allowed and what's not allowed. But again, I mean, I'm not doing Twitter right. I'm aware of that. As far as promotion wise, I could probably get a lot more from kind of following what you're doing and just trying to get more people to follow me and then unfollowing the people that don't. But does Manage Flutter have like a...
Oh, go ahead. Does Manage Flutter have what?
No, I was just going to say, like, sorry, there seems to be a gap sometimes. I'm not trying to interrupt. And Twitter, there was a thing, I think you could put like a list of your people that you don't want to ever unfollow, like a protection list. Is there anything like that in Manage Flutter?
Yeah, you can do that. So you just make a Twitter list, and then you can choose the list in Manage Flutter, and then it hides those from ever showing up in your follow, unfollow. They just never show up ever.
Okay.
And so there's ways you can protect from unfollowing or following people like that. And it's super easy. I did that a little bit, but I haven't dove into I've never gotten into the list that much as other people have. I know some people go hardcore on the Twitter list, but that is a good way though to keep from screwing something up in Manage Flutter.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just looking at your Twitter profile just now, and it does look like you're following the 10% rule, because you've got like followings like slightly more than follows. But then if you check it like a few days later, it would be, once you've unfollowed, it'll be less.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll always be around the same on mine probably. But I get a lot of traffic from Twitter, and that's why I've kind of invested some more of my time into Twitter. Facebook is just
something I probably have to do is Facebook. Oh, don't get me started on Facebook.
No. Yeah, or organic reach on that.
I said this on Google Plus. I think it was yesterday, that basically Facebook is now like MySpace was, and all these other social media websites that just got spammy at the end. It's just I deactivated my the account with all my friends in like December, because it was just boring, just so boring. But and from an advertiser point of view as well, it just became impossible. Like I used to I've got a martial arts video website thing with a Facebook page with 65,000 followers or so, and I would sometimes sync the videos from the website to Facebook, and it would automatically do it. And sometimes if I if I made a mistake and then published a like publish an incorrect blog post, like on Facebook, for example, I misspelled something or a link to a video that was dead, I would get like 20 retweets or 20 shares and 20 likes just because of the sheer volume of people. And it's like these people aren't even clicking on the link. They're just clicking like for whatever reason when they see it. You know, and
Yeah.
it's just so, I don't know, it's just the nature of Facebook that people will click like on anything. Like if you could post an article, if you've got 50,000 followers on Facebook, you could post a link to a blog post on your blog and you'll have more people clicking like than actually clicking on it to read the article, which is kind of bizarre. It's just the whole, it's basically information overload, essentially. There's so much content getting thrown at people. When Facebook started, there weren't that many Facebook pages and things like that. So you could get a really good high conversion, but then it just got worse and worse and worse. And then the reach dropped. They made that decision where instead of showing posts from pages like 100% of the time, they dropped down to like 5 or 3%, which just killed me because I was investing a lot in Facebook at the time. But from there, it's just got worse and worse and worse, in my opinion. And from a website owner's point of view now, I wouldn't touch it. I mean, I would only get near it if I was actually, just doing something viral. I think you can still get a lot from Facebook if you upload a lot of images and videos and just post things that people will share. But as far as actually investing money, I think it's very disappointing.
I think it definitely depends on your niche too, because I'm looking at I'm logged into one of my clients' insights on their page, and just from May 20 to May 26 of this year, they've gotten 39,000 people for total reach, and they've gotten 4,500 clicks. And it's all organic. That's all organic. They don't pay any ads because I do the ads for them, so there's no ads going.
That seems quite good.
So 4,500 clicks in 7 days from Facebook. Yeah, that's crazy good. I wish I could get that on my Facebook, but
is that like? I mean, I could look at my Facebook just now to show you what I'm kind of getting. I'm not getting that.
Again, they're in the pain niche, so I mean, they're sharing things like chronic pain, back pain. I think it's something that people really, I think a lot of people in chronic pain actually are in the 35 to 65 age range, which are people that are on Facebook, not using Twitter. Yeah. So I think that matters a lot too, which is the age range. I think in our niche, which is more blogging and stuff, I think it's probably a younger crowd, and they're more on Twitter, and I think I
think as well. I mean, if I think I've got like say 300 friends. Well, in my old Facebook account, I have like 300 friends, but I've probably got like 3 of them that own a website. So it doesn't matter. I can't share anything to do with websites because no one's interested. But if I had to upload a picture of a puppy or some funny video with someone falling over, then I would get like 20 shares because it's something that appeals to everyone. That's how these websites like BuzzFeed and all these viral websites, that they've done so well from Facebook. I'm going to check my analytics from my Facebook page just to impress myself.
So at least for when you have that emotional tie-in, I think for Facebook still works pretty good. Like puppies, back pain, stuff that people can relate to or think is funny or sad or something like that.
Puppies with back pain.
Yeah, something like that.
In the market.
Yeah, I think that stuff still works really good. But man, I've tried everything I could think of to try to get my organic reach on Facebook up, and for the marketing niche, it's just dead, completely in the water.
Yeah. I think even the funny thing is, even with pages that I don't update anymore, like that martial arts videos thing I've not updated in like 9 months, and it still gets 100 new fans a month or something, or a week or whatever it is. And it's just bizarre. You're not updating, it's dead effectively, and people are still joining.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
That's pretty good actually.
Yeah, I'll let you. I mean, I'll let you see it if you want to check some stats. What were you looking at as far as what stat were you looking at for engagement? Just on the main.
Oh, I just clicked into insights.
It shows you the last. Yeah, it only shows from the last week.
Yeah, and then I had the default up, so it should be like May 20 to May 26 right now.
Yeah, that's right. it just, for me, it just says 12 people engaged, 3 likes, 1 comment, 3 shares, 22 post clicks.
Yeah, and so see this, my client got 4,500, actually 4,546 clicks. So I don't, it's just, it's
yeah, that's pretty good.
how,
I mean, I'll check that other website. I mean, I've got some other, I've got about 2 or 3 of them that I've got like 20,000 fans as well.
yeah, and this client actually, their page has, they have 5,500 likes on their page, so it's not even that much technically.
Yeah, it's
just their stuff.
I mean, at one point, I was posting a lot of images and things to these pages to help them grow, and the kind of conversion rates I was getting were crazy. Like, I would upload a picture of Bruce Lee, just like a little quote. I'd be creating all these images and just put a quote next to it, and I'd get like 2,000 shares and things like that. And you would get loads and loads of likes from that, because it's the sort of thing, everyone loves Bruce Lee, and everyone loves his quotes, so it becomes really easy to kind of get shares like that.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to our own Facebook pages, because I mean, both of us, I mean, we're always, doing WordPress stuff, doing SEO stuff. It's much harder to, I mean, you can only make it so interesting. So
yeah, I mean, I use Facebook to start off the martial arts discussion forums I have. I don't know if I've told you this before, but essentially it was a couple of years ago, and I was paying for likes. And then when people came, I was using, what one was it? It was one of those like all posting services, and it was automatically posting new discussion threads from the forum via the RSS feed, and just automatically posting it to Facebook. And because of that, I get thousands of members. And it was a fantastic way to get it going, because I got all these different people who are, I targeted the ads to go for people who are specifically, into like martial arts and things. So it was very targeted. It was a great way to start a forum, but then it started, they started changing all the reach and things like that.
Yeah.
For some reason I can't change.
Even as far as even Facebook ads, the cost per click has been, I mean, if I had to draw a graph, it'd be going like this.
What is it just now then?
I've been running Facebook ads for probably the last 5 years, and I run Facebook ads for all my clients. And I play with Facebook ads kind of on my own stuff too once in a while, but the cost per clicks just keeps going up every month. It's crazy. I think it's
not reached the point. It's not reached the point where it's not profitable.
It's still profitable, especially in the pain niche. It's still if you can get someone to click for $2, 3,000 return is not bad. But as far as people trying to get that 20-cent cost per click, which you could easily do a year ago, it's really hard now. And getting it under 10 cents is literally almost impossible now.
Yeah.
And when I first started doing Facebook ads, I mean, I was getting, 5 to 10 cents easy, and it was like I should have threw more money at it at that time, but I think
but it was one of those things you didn't know at the time. Let me see. Well, see that that page, I've got 65,000 likes. In the last week, I've had 291 clicks. Which is actually quite impressive, considering I've not made any updates since September 2014.
That is pretty impressive. I would hold on to that page for
just forget everything I've said about Facebook. Facebook is the future. I've definitely, I need to rethink my strategy with Facebook. The thing is, it's hard to get it, as you say, within the marketing niche, within WordPress and blogging, things like that. It's hard to get that kind of conversion.
Yeah, and I think there is still a point with Facebook, like with your martial arts page. If you have enough likes, you're still going to get a pretty good return, or at least a decent one. But to get that many likes now, like it's just too cost effective to pay anymore for likes. Like it's too spendy, and so getting that many likes it's way harder now.
Like see the martial arts video website that I was using with that. I stopped. I was on another website where I was hiring a lot of writers, and for some reason, it stopped getting. I must have had some sort of Google penalty or something because traffic just went to zero and it wouldn't grow. And I don't know why, because I hadn't done anything wrong. But that was like a year or so ago. I just stopped because I couldn't afford to keep spending so much in writing. I mean, I think I was investing several $100s a month in writers at the time, and I was getting zero traffic. At the moment, I'm getting about 42 visitors or something a day, which is very low compared to what potential it had.
Yeah, it sounds like you might have got a penalty in there somewhere.
Yeah, there was, at the time there was nothing. There was nothing on the website. There was nothing on in Google Webmaster Tools or anything like that highlighted what was wrong.
Well, and I've had clients with penalties that never got a Google Webmaster Tools message. Just so you know,
there was definitely something wrong, definitely without doubt, because
either
I was
that or
adding
like
new articles every day. Or what? Sorry.
Oh, I said either that or like a robots file's blocking it or something, or a crawl error or something else.
I mean, at the time, I think I published a lot of articles about it on my blog at the time, and I think for whatever reason, I was just getting zero traffic. It wasn't growing. I was only getting like a few a day, and it was killing it. I couldn't, I needed to see some sort of traffic go up, and then so the ads would, I'd hoped for it to be, with that strategy, I'd hoped that it would have been a profitable Google AdSense website at the time, just by getting traffic free from Facebook, but it died, and then I just had to kind of end the project, move on to something else. But that's the kind of website that you can do well through Facebook. But I think for our types of websites, it's impossible to try and get any kind of return, really, unless you're going to. It's difficult to get shares. It's really difficult to get shares. Like I'll need to show you that. I'll send you a link to that that Facebook page another day, or I could even add you as an administrator if you want to look at what I've did and look at kind of the past and see what worked and what didn't. It might give you some ideas. It's kind of funny looking back at something you did years ago and then looking at it and think, oh, I should have kept doing that.
Yeah, no, I sold one of my biggest regrets was selling it's called the itbros.com.
Yeah.
And I flipped that on Flippa a couple years ago. I think it was for like $9,000 or something. But I should have kept it looking back at it now, and because it's grown a lot more, and the quality on there has gone to crap since they bought it. But
yeah,
the growth is all from my hard work over the first 2 years building it.
So the growth has been through just Google changing their algorithm.
Yeah, and all I think I had like 120 posts on there of my own, but they're all, I mean, you've seen my blog articles, they're all how-to kind of things, all IT related, and they were all unique, all ranking first because no one else wrote how to do it. And so the new owner kind of got a good deal on that one. But I mean, everyone that flips websites always has regrets on things they wish they kept.
Yeah, I've actually had a lot of websites where I've sold them and the new owner has done nothing, like absolutely zero with it, to the point where like it's unchanged years later. I had one as well, I sold a poker discussion forum many years ago, and the guy basically, he removed all advertisements, which was bizarre to me because they were making money. And then he said he didn't have time to update it, and he just closed it. It's just a blank page where like the forum is now closed. And I said to him, well, I'll buy it back off you. And he's like, no. And then this was like 2 years later when it was like zero traffic. All the members had moved on with their lives essentially. And he was like, no, I still want what I paid for it. And I was like, I'm not going to give you that. You've destroyed the forum. There's no traffic. Yeah. The forum members have all left. I'm not going to give you the original price. And he said, no, I'm not going to sell it then. And he didn't sell it. He refused. I was like, I was actually offering him a good price as well. It was kind of bizarre. But I mean, I can only imagine how much money this guy was making if he could afford to just go, no, it's not worth the hassle.
Yeah. Or maybe he either making a lot of money or he really wanted the domain name itself for some reason, maybe.
Not. He's literally done zero for it. In fact, I'll share the link with you.
Or no, maybe he liked the domain though for a future project maybe or something.
Well, he said this he's got welcome site is it was a poker forum, Texas Home Forums, just created, real content coming soon. Now that kind of, it had a different message before, it was even more basic, but that's been there for years now. It's just sat there. And he refuses to sell the domain or anything. It's kind of, I just can't understand it from his point of view. Like, not to spend hanging about money, but I sold it on Flipper for 40,000. Well, we made a deal. He sent me 30,000. I got to keep the affiliate accounts, but he paid $30,000 for it. Kept it a few months, then just shut down our community. This community, to put it in perspective, Rice Forums has got like 800 members, most of which aren't active. This forum had like 25,000 members, and every day there was at least 20 to 50 people online at any time. It was a very profitable, it had a lot of potential. I thought the guy was just going to throw money at it and make it like a super forum, but he just closed it down.
That sucks.
Yeah, I actually wanted him to do well with it. I was like, no, go for it. It was kind of strange saying something you created just getting left to die or just getting deactivated.
Well, from my experience on Flippa, like, seems like a lot of people buying sites on there are actually more business investors rather than people that actually know anything about websites.
Yeah.
They might have someone that knows about a website, and that's who they hand it off to, but they don't know much about it themselves, which is sometimes good for the person selling the website.
Yeah. But, it's kind of, I definitely think there's a lot of people doing that. I actually had, who was it? Do you know the people that own hotscripts.com? They're a big internet company.
I don't remember.
They own. In fact, I can search for that. They've got lots and lots of large websites. It's like a who's who of large websites they own. I mean, Hotscripts isn't big now, but going back 10, 15 years ago, it was like one of the biggest websites in the web kind of thing.
Oh, no, I remember. I used to, I don't know if you know this, but I used to run a web hosting company.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I remember you mentioned that a few years ago.
And at one point, I had over 1,000 domains going. And I sold it in college to pay for tuition, but I sold the whole company. But I was on Hotscripts probably every other day, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, can you remember that though? It was like one of the biggest websites. I mean, I used it all the time.
Yeah.
It was like everyone used it. But you can see down the bottom, it was from a company called iNet Interactive, and it's like a who's who. They own Web Hosting Talk, which is like the biggest web hosting forum ever. They've got Overclockers, Mac Forums, DB Forums. There's all these other websites as well I've not heard of, Hosting Con, Windows Secrets. But I know Web Hosting Talk, Overclockers, and Mac Forums, and DB Forums, they're all big forums.
Yeah,
Web Hosting Talk is huge, man.
I didn't realize they were all under the same name.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they were originally or if companies started buying them all, but I mean, those websites have all been under that brand for quite a lot of years now, at least 5 or 6. But I mean, if you look at the size of Web Hosting Talk, they've got 1,800 people online just now, 1 million threads. It's a huge community. But back to my point, when I had WP Mods, I sold it 3 years ago now, roughly. And they'd actually contacted me right at the very beginning. Like, I had only been online a few months. They said, oh, we saw that you sold another website in the past. Looks like you know what you're doing. We'll buy it off you. And I was like, well, it's not even developed yet. They're like, no, we'll give you it. But basically, they offered me this terrible price. And I was like, listen, I'll sell later. If I would have sold at that point if they'd given me a good price for it, but it was like a terrible, it's a really low offer. And they were trying again at the beginning. And I was like, there's no incentive for me to sell right now because I've done all the hard work, like, to the point where I'm not actually getting any return yet. You know what I mean? Like, I'd been working on it, say 6-7 months or something, and I wasn't really getting much from ads. And they were trying to get it at that point and say, well, it's only worth this much. I was like, I'm not going to sell it based on what it's making just now. It's in its infancy. Right when
you spend another 4 months, then it starts making money.
Yeah, but the thing is, I eventually sold it. And I'm sure I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure that I emailed them at the time and said, hey, remember you said you're interested in the website? And I've got it on sale for Flipper. And they were like, yeah, we're not interested. Just like, all right, okay. It was it's kind of bizarre though. I mean, I think a lot of these companies are trying to snap up bargains, which I can understand, but then I think I don't know if they just assumed I was going to just sell it on for nothing. But as you say, there's a lot of people like that in Flipper who just looking for bargains, and they're people that they're not involved in internet marketing. I think especially with blogs, people don't want to spend months updating blogs. They really don't want to spend a lot of time writing articles and hiring people and all that. They just want to buy one.
Yeah. When I've a couple projects I'm probably going to work on later this summer is I'm probably going to actually buy a couple sites on Empire Flippers, which is kind of where I kind of been going over there now more than Flippa. Flippa's kind of gotten kind of crappy recently, and Empire Flippers,
good job, those guys.
The two guys on there, they do a pretty good job of screening people. I mean, you do have to be careful on there about people using private link farms and everything, because a lot of those guys selling those sites do. But if you know what you're looking for, you can get some really good deals on there. And if you have the money, I mean, you can save yourself a year's worth of time building the site out yourself.
So, I mean, are you looking for an AdSense type of website?
I was going to go for either AdSense or an Amazon affiliate site probably. And I mean, I could do it myself, and I've done them before, but sometimes it's quicker. Building new blogs every couple of months is just tiring after a while. Sometimes you just want to skip the time.
It's not enjoyable either. It's not enjoyable work. It's I don't really make much from AdSense anymore. I've got one little website that I probably should have invested in years ago instead of that other one, and it still consistently makes a little bit of money every month. Not much, but just, I mean, I basically built the website in like a day or two, and it's always made me like say $100 a month or $50 to $100 a month since then. But that was several years ago. So if you look at it collectively, if I had to just stick doing that for like a year, I would have made a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
But you never know which one's going to convert and which aren't,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll need to show you. If you're ever looking at that, I'll need to show you that. I can show you the stats for that website, and you can look at what worked.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely take a look at that.
Well, it's probably good to tie up now, because I think we're how long is that? About an hour or so? An hour?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Little over an hour, yeah.
At least we've not reached the 8 hour limit.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, thanks for taking part, Brian. Be good to do this again. We can try and get some other people involved. Perhaps even do it weekend, like you said, if that suits you better.
Yeah, weekend's always best for me. I mean, we can check. I'm not sure what people in Rise forums too. I'm assuming most people are probably better on the weekends because of the time zone changes for everybody. So
I think. Well, I mean, I'm UK. I think you're maybe 8 hours behind me, not 7. I thought you were 7. That's why I get mixed up earlier.
Because it's 7 p.m. here right now, almost. So. Okay,
it's 2:45 here, so in the morning. So yeah, that's 5. That's 8 hours. Yeah, that's 8 hours. I mean, something like on a Sunday, that would be like an afternoon for you. 12 o'clock would be like 8 p.m. in the UK. So I think there'll be a few guys who maybe want to take part. I think with Google Hangouts, though, I mean, you don't want to have. I've seen Google Hangouts on YouTube, and there's like 10 people, and most people are just sitting around not doing anything.
Yeah,
I think 3 or 4 is probably the most you'd want. Well, thanks for taking part anyway, and we can definitely try and do this again.
Yeah, no, it's been good.
Well, thanks. I'm going to try and look into that WordPress thing now, because I'm quite curious.
Well, yeah, have fun looking at that. I'll probably publish a post here about it coming soon. I actually might publish it on my new site I launched learnwp.io. It's kind of my new project. I might publish it on there because it'll be a shorter one. So.
Well, let me know, and I'll add it to the description underneath this video. So if someone's looking at this video and 6 months or a year, whatever, they can refer to that article and learn all about it.
Okay, yeah. I'll get that. I'm gonna get the official programmer language from my brother because he can explain he dove into it so deep that he knows exactly why they're doing it that way and why it should be changed. But so I'll get the official lingo.
Because it seemed a little bit confusing to me. I didn't know why they were doing it. But well, thanks for that anyway, Brian, and thanks for anyone who's been watching this. Till next time.
Been good. See ya.
Thanks, Brian. Speak to you soon.
Yeah.